In the early 2000s, there was an abandoned cabin deep in the woods of Washington state. The cabin had once been a vacation home for a wealthy family, but after a tragic accident that claimed the lives of the family's children, it had been left abandoned for years. Rumors had circulated about strange occurrences around the cabin, and many locals believed it to be haunted. But one group of friends, eager for an adventure, decided to investigate the cabin for themselves. The group consisted of 4 friends, all in their early 20s: Jake, Emily, Tyler, and Sarah. They had grown up in the same small town and were always looking for something to do. On this particular night, they decided to explore the abandoned cabin. As they made their way through the woods, the group felt a sense of unease. It was as though the trees were watching them, and the silence was eerie. When they finally reached the cabin, they found that it was in even worse shape than they had imagined. The windows were broken, the roof was caved in, and the wood was rotting away. But the group was undeterred and decided to enter the cabin anyway. As they stepped inside, they were hit with a musty smell and the sound of creaking wood. It was clear that nobody had been inside in years. They explored the first floor, finding old furniture covered in dust and cobwebs. When they reached the staircase leading to the second floor, the group hesitated, but they continued on, climbing the stairs and finding themselves in what had once been the children's bedroom. It was then that they heard a noise, a sound like footsteps coming from upstairs. They froze, unsure of what to do, but their curiosity got the better of them, and they continued up the stairs. At the top of the stairs, they found a locked door. It was clear that nobody had been inside in years. They tried to force the door open, but it wouldn't budge. Suddenly, they heard a voice from inside the room. It was a child's voice, faint and distant, but clear enough for them to hear. The voice was saying, "Help me! Help me!" The group was terrified, but they continued to try and force the door open. As they did so, they heard more noises coming from the other side of the door. Finally, with a loud crack, the door opened. The group rushed inside, only to find an empty room. There was no sign of any children, no sign of anything out of the ordinary, but the group knew what they had heard, and they quickly left the cabin. As they made their way back through the woods, they heard the same footsteps following them, echoing through the trees. To this day, the group is unsure of what they experienced in the abandoned cabin, but they all agree that it was the scariest night of their lives, and they have never returned to the cabin since.